I can see on the tiles that we have 6 members present, if I am counting correctly. 5 members present.
5 with you.
With one member having resigned. So it's 5 out of 6. We have a quorum in any case. Our first item of business is to approve the minutes of our September 15, 2020 special meeting and the October 6, 2020 regular meeting. I'll take a motion, moved by member Martin, seconded by member Schaefer. Any questions or comments or discussion? Hearing none, we will call the roll.
And Ms. Morlock just arrived right on time. She will be so proud of me that I turned on the recorder all by myself too.
You are so good.
Ms. Morlock, please take the roll.
Thank you. Member Wendt?
Yes.
Thank you. Member Schaefer?
Yes.
Member Martin?
Yes.
Member Soldner?
Yes.
Is Member Bloomfield here?
She is not, Ms. Morlock.
Thank you. Chairman Gordon?
Yes. Thank you. Ms. Rodriguez, do we have any appearances by members of the public this afternoon?
We do not, Chairman Gordon.
All right. Thank you. We will move then to departmental matters. Section 4 of our packet. 4A, Don Everhart, McLean County Circuit Clerk. Is he with us this afternoon, Ms. Rodriguez? Do you know?
I know that, I'm not certain. I know Mr. Everhart was trying to reach me today and I wasn't able to pick up. It could be that he was trying to tell me he was unable.
Well, why don't we do this? I'll call attention of the members. You've already seen these, I'm sure. The items to be presented for information. There are no action items from the Circuit Clerk's office. Statistical reports on pages 4 through 12, quarterly statistical reports 13 through 21. Let me ask if there are any questions from members of the committee about anything in those 2 sets of reports. And if Mr. Everhart does arrive, we can ask him at that time. We can hold that over pending his arrival. In the meantime, are there any questions that Ms. Rodriguez or Ms. Taylor might be able to answer? If there are no questions, we'll move ahead. And as I say, if Mr. Everhart is able to get here, we will certainly welcome him and give him an opportunity to comment on anything in those reports. Item 4B, Carla Barnes, the public defender.
Hello.
Good afternoon. I was going to ask if you were one of the callers. How are you, Ms. Barnes?
Yes, I am. I'm
Good.
doing well. Thank you very much.
Good. The public defender brings no items for action this afternoon. The report is found on pages 23 through 24 in our packet. Ms. Barnes, anything that you would care to emphasize or highlight in the information you've presented to us?
There's nothing that I'd like to highlight or add. Everything's going pretty good right now. My office is going strong, and we're working well with our counterparts, the state attorney's office, as well as the sheriff's office. Thanks a lot to county admin as well.
Good to hear. Thank you. Are there any questions from members of the committee for Ms. Barnes? Hearing none. Thank you, Ms. Barnes. Have a good rest of your day and appreciate the information. We move now to item 4C, Molly Evans, the director of the Children's Advocacy Center. Welcome to you, Ms. Evans. We have one item for action coming from the CAC. Item (25) 25 through 27, and I'll entertain a motion to begin. Moved by member Soldner. Do I have a second? Seconded by member Martin. Ms. Evans, would you care to just briefly summarize what this item, what this appropriation ordinance proposal will do?
Sure. This is the majority of this added revenue that is in this budget amendment is a result of the CAC and the CASA program, both receiving the coronavirus emergency supplemental funding grants. Both of those grants were brought in front of you guys last month and the county board. So along with that, there was some additional revenue that has been received through community donations, as well as some additional funding through the Child Protection Network. So just wanted to get those in with the identified items that we will be purchasing.
Thank you for the information. Do members of the committee have any questions for Ms. Evans on this proposal? Hearing none, I believe we're ready to vote. The chair will vote. We are ready for the roll call.
Member Went,
Yes.
Member Schaefer,
Yes.
Member Martin,
Yes.
Member Soldner,
Yes.
Chairman Gordon.
Yes. The monthly statistics and general report from the CAC are found on pages 28 through 31. Anything that you would care to add to the information we have in writing, Ms. Evans?
I don't at this time, but happy to answer any questions you might have.
All right. Are there any questions for Ms. Evans on the general report? Member Schaefer?
Yeah, on the number of interviews that you've done in September, is that because kids were starting to go back into school and teachers were seeing more things?
Yes, I think that definitely played a role in the increase that we saw for the month of September. You know, it also can depend on the nature of some of the cases that came in, if they require additional interviews. So outside of just, you know, immediate family members, if there's additional interviews that are added onto a case too. So I think it's kind of the combination of both.
Thank you for that. Any other questions for Ms. Evans at this time? Hearing none. Thank you, Ms. Evans. The proposal will move forward. The proposal we've approved will move forward to the next step.
Thank you all for your time. Have a good evening.
And the same to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sheriff Sandage, you're up next. Good afternoon.
Good evening. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Good.
We have, from the Sheriff's Department, we have 5 items for action. The first is item D1A, request approval of an intergovernmental agreement between the state of Illinois and Illinois Emergency Management Agency and the county of McLean, found on pages 32 through 67 in our packet. I'll entertain a motion. Moved by Member Schaefer. Is there a second? Seconded by Member Martin. Thank you. Sheriff Sandage, is there anything in this proposal that you would care to emphasize beyond what we have in the written form?
No, this and actually the next item on the agenda are both continuation grants that we get every year for the Emergency Management Agency.
Are these related proposals then, from what you've just said?
They're separate grants, but
Okay.
they're ones we get every year.
Okay, we'll take those one at a time then. Any questions for Sheriff Sandage on item D1A? In that case, we are ready to vote and the chair will vote. Can we call the roll?
Member Went,
Yes.
Member Schaefer,
Yes.
Member Martin,
Yes.
Member Soldner,
Yes.
Chairman Gordon.
Yes. Item D1B, request approval of an intergovernmental agreement between the state of Illinois, Illinois Emergency Management Agency, and the county of McLean for the Illinois Emergency Management Agency Nuclear Safety Grant Program, pages 68 through 102. Do I have a motion? Moved by Member Soldner. Is there a second? Seconded by Member Martin. Sheriff Sandage, anything that we would need to know beyond having perused the grant proposal?
This nuclear grant is mainly going to be used for equipment to update some computers and a touch screen out at the Emergency Operations Center.
Thank you. Any questions for the sheriff on this proposal, item D1B? If not, I believe we are ready to vote. Chair will vote.
Member Went,
Yes.
Member Schaefer,
Yes.
Member Martin,
Yes.
Member Soldner,
Yes.
Chairman Gordon.
Yes. Next, we come to intergovernmental agreements, items D1C, D, and E. All of these have to do with booking services. I will take an extra minute when we get to the proposals to reflect something that we all, I believe, received late this afternoon. My proposal would be, if it's okay with the sheriff and if it's okay with members of the committee, to consolidate items D1, C, D, and E, since all of them have to do with booking services, with the one amendment, a small one but an important one, that we received information about from Ms. Taylor late this afternoon, so that we have the right information as far as the signature block. With that in mind, is this acceptable to the sheriff and to members of the committee? Okay,
It is.
thank you. In that case, we will take items D1, C, D, and E together. Request approval of intergovernmental agreements between the County of McLean and the City of Bloomington, Illinois State University, and the Town of Normal for booking services, pages 103 through 114 in our packet. I'll entertain a motion on this consolidated package, if you will. Moved by Member Schaefer. Is there a second? Seconded by Member Martin. Any questions from members of the committee to the sheriff? Sheriff Sandage, anything more that we need to know regarding these proposals?
No, sir. These, again, are renewal agreements that we do every year with these entities.
Thank you. Is the committee ready to vote? I won't take a roll call on that. Let's get the roll call on items D1, C, D, and E together.
Member Went,
Yes.
Member Schaefer,
Yes.
Member Martin,
Yes.
Member Soldner,
Yes.
Chairman Gordon.
Yes. Sheriff Sandage, anything that you would care to add to the monthly statistical report found in our packet on 115 through 118?
The only thing I have is our population is up a little bit. DOC has taken a little hiatus as far as accepting sentenced inmates. We are going to be able to get rid of our female sentenced inmates Wednesday or Thursday, which will help out a bit. But we're still sitting on between 15 and 20 male sentenced inmates that they are not accepting at this point. I'm not really sure if it's COVID or space related, but we will get them to the Department of Corrections as soon as possible.
Thank you. Any questions for Sheriff Sandage on the monthly statistical information? Hearing none. Sheriff, thank you very much.
George, I think, is this your last Justice Committee meeting?
I believe it is. I don't know. I think so.
I'd like to thank you for everything you've done. And I appreciate the frank discussion we've had, and we've always been able to share our opinions.
Sheriff, excuse me, just at that moment, your transmission decided to have fun with us all. I don't want you to repeat the whole thing. I appreciate what you said. The transmission got garbled, but I appreciate it. Thank you, Sheriff. I appreciate it very much. Next is item 4E, information only from Coroner Kathy Yoder. We already know that she is not able to be with us. She has no action items to present to the committee. The monthly report for information from the coroner's office is on pages 119 through 120.
Can you hear me?
I'm sorry?
Hello?
Yes,
We can hear you now.
we can hear you. Who's on?
I just want to say thanks, George. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it very much, Sheriff. Thank you very much. Any questions for, in this case, the county administrator with regard to information presented by the county coroner? If not, we're glad to have the information, and if there are follow-up questions, we'll have the opportunity to raise them, I'm sure. We move now to Mr. Knapp, the McLean County State's Attorney. Good afternoon, Don.
Good afternoon, George. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Yourself?
I'm good.
Good. Item F1A is an action item coming from the State's Attorney's Office. Request approval of amended fiscal year 2021 recommended budget for the General Fund 0001, State's Attorney Department 0020, Prosecution and Litigation Program 0019, pages 122 through 124. I'll entertain a motion. Moved by Member Martin, seconded by Member Schaefer. Mr. Knapp, anything that you would care to highlight on this in this proposal?
To explain this real quickly, this is not a budget amendment to this year's budget. It's a amendment to what you approve for the 2021 budget. When we were talking about that budget, we discussed a contract that this office has had with Tammy Wagner, and that we moved money out of my personnel line to the contractual line to fund that prior contract that has since terminated. So now I am moving money from that line for 2021 into that contractual line to give me flexibility in case we feel like we need to bring Tammy back in that capacity. When we first passed my budget, or the 2021 budget, there had been no homicides in McLean County. Now we have one. And just to prepare, that got me thinking about what would we do should 2021 be a year like 2018. And this is solely to provide me that flexibility in case we feel like we need to bring Tammy back. We don't have a contract yet. If we actually do enter the contract, obviously I'll bring that back to future justice committees to get that signed. But it's budget neutral. Like I say, it just moves money from one line to the next, and that is why I'm requesting it.
Thank you very much. Questions for State's Attorney Knapp on this proposal? Hearing none, I believe we are then ready to vote. The chair will vote.
Member Went,
Yes.
Member Schaefer,
Yes.
Member Martin,
Yes.
Member Soldner,
Yes.
Chairman Gordon.
Yes. Mr. Knapp, anything that you would care to highlight?
So I've got my my caseload report that everybody's seen. Unlike the sheriff, I understand that Chairman Gordon has one more meeting since the first Monday of December is the 7th. We'll actually have committee meetings the week before that. So I think Tuesday's the 1st. So I will save my praise for Chairman Gordon until then, and won't pretend that my computer's dying like the sheriff did.
Thank you, Mr. Knapp. We're on the record, remember. This is going out to the public.
Yeah.
Fine, I'm glad to have that clarified, and I will check with Member Rodriguez to get that officially sorted out.
Yeah, it happens every year, but I believe we've got one more
when I
left.
answered Sheriff Sandage, I really was telling the truth. I thought this was. That comes as a pleasant surprise, I think.
Yeah.
One more.
One more.
One more?
One more.
Thank you, Member Rodriguez. I was going to get in touch with you. I really didn't know. Obviously, I didn't know. Any questions for State's Attorney Knapp on the caseload and forfeiture fund reports? Hearing none. Don, thank you. Have a good rest of your day, evening. Evening comes a lot earlier these days. Move now to Mike Donovan, the Director of Court Services. Good afternoon.
Good evening.
Court Services brings us 5 items for action. Item G1A, request approval of an amended agreement with the Center for Youth and Family Solutions for trauma-related adult redeploy Illinois clients, pages 127 through 131. I'll entertain a motion on item G1A. Moved by member Schaefer. Is there a second? Seconded by member Martin. Donovan, you want to just tell us briefly anything of significance in this proposal beyond what we have?
Sure. This was presented previously, I believe, in August and approved, but ARI came back and said they hadn't had a chance to review our documents yet and requested a change. So we changed the language in the payment scale, the breakdown of the payments. There's a paragraph that we changed from solid 13,000 to a breakdown of 12,000 and 1,000 for training. So we had to redo it.
Thank you. That was the only change from the original version then.
Correct.
Okay. Mr. Donovan on item G1A. Hearing none. For the record, the chair will vote on all of these proposals, and we are ready to take the roll call on G1A.
Member Went,
Yes.
member Schaefer,
Yes.
member Martin,
Yes.
member Soldner,
Yes.
Chairman Gordon.
Yes. Item G1B, request approval of an amended agreement with McLean County Center for Human Services for evidence-based mental health case management services for court services problem-solving court program. Pages 132 through 136, and I'll entertain a motion. Moved by member Martin, seconded by member Schaefer. Are there questions for Mr. Donovan on this proposal? Mr. Donovan, any additional explanation that you would care to present us?
I would like to say that there was a Scribner's error because it shouldn't say amended agreement. I used last year's agreement and we had to amend that in the middle of the year. So this should just be an agreement like the two below it. This is a problem-solving court thing that we do every year. It's pass-through money from Board of Health that we pay the treatment agencies.
Thank you. That's good to have that accurately corrected. Appreciate that. Any questions from members of the committee on G1B for Mr. Donovan? Hearing none, I believe we're then ready to vote.
Member Went,
Yes.
member Schaefer,
Yes.
member Martin,
Yes.
member Soldner,
Yes.
Chairman Gordon.
Yes. Item G1C, request approval of an agreement with the Center for Youth and Family Solutions for moral recognition therapy for court services problem-solving court program. 137 through 141. I'll entertain a motion on G1C. Moved by member Soldner. Is there a second? Seconded by member Martin. Mr. Donovan, any particular point that you would care to have us keep in mind?
No, nothing, sir. These are, like I said, this is just a continued agreement that we do yearly with these. No changes in the CYFS agreement this year.
Very good. Thank you. Questions from members of the committee for Mr. Donovan? Hearing none, I believe then we are ready to vote.
Member Went,
Yes.
member Schaefer,
Yes.
member Martin,
Yes.
member Soldner,
Yes.
Chairman Gordon.
Yes. Item G1D, request approval of an agreement with Chestnut Health Systems to provide evidence-based substance abuse and co-occurring treatment and services for court services problem-solving court program, pages 142 through 146. Is there a motion? Moved by member Martin, seconded by member Schaefer. Mr. Donovan, any particular information that you'd like to bring to our attention?
No, this contract agreement has not changed either. This is actually the dollar amount on all these is the same this year as it was last year. And this is the same agreement with Chestnut to provide treatment services for recovery court and drug court.
Very good. Questions for Mr. Donovan on this item? Then I think we're ready to vote. Chair will vote, as I've said.
Member Went,
Yes.
Member Schaefer,
Yes.
Member Martin,
Yes.
Member Soldner,
Yes.
Chairman Gordon.
Yes. The final item from Court Services is item G1E. Request approval of an addendum to connexxus Cloud Enterprise Software Agreement, pages 147 through 150. I'll entertain a motion. Moved by Member Schaefer, seconded by Member Soldner. Mr. Donovan, anything that you would care to add to what we have before us?
Just that we have a previous agreement with connexxus Cloud to provide services for our problem-solving courts, and we've now added the CAT grant team from the BJA grant to have the same services.
Okay. Questions for Mr. Donovan on item G1E? Then we're ready to vote.
Member Went,
Yes.
Member Schaefer,
Yes.
Member Martin,
Yes.
Member Soldner,
Yes.
Chairman Gordon.
Yes. Thank you. We have the information in the form of Court Services Adult and Juvenile Division statistics on pages 151 through 156. Mr. Donovan, anything that you care to bring to our attention in particular?
No, I'd be happy to answer questions though.
All right. Do we have any questions for Mr. Donovan on these items? Member Schaefer, go ahead.
I don't remember from previous reports, but on the drug court and recovery court, when you have your active caseload and it says referral, is that referrals to date? There are 59 for drug court and 25 for recovery court. Does that mean that we have more people that can qualify for those than we have space for?
Well, no, not necessarily. Those are just the referrals throughout the year to date. And we only get a percentage of those that are actually acceptable referrals that qualify. So no, it doesn't mean that we're getting too many referrals for the program.
Any other questions for Mr. Donovan? Mike, thank you very much. Have a good rest of your evening, and we appreciate your being here.
All right, thank you.
We'll go forward.
Thank you much.
Okay. Ms. Rodriguez, I believe it is up to you. You're next.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Chairman Gordon. I present under item H1A an item for action, which is request approval of critical hire requests. There's a memo for the committee's review on page 157 of your packet.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion on that item. Moved by Member Martin, seconded by Member Soldner. Are there any questions from members of the committee for Ms. Rodriguez on this action item? Very good. I believe we're ready to vote. The chair will vote.
Member Went,
Yes.
Member Schaefer,
Yes.
Member Martin,
Yes.
Member Soldner,
Yes.
Chairman Gordon.
Yes. We also have information from the county administrator with regard to positions filled that come under the purview of the Justice Committee. Any questions for Ms. Rodriguez on any of those? Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Don't go away. We have, pardon me, let me do one other thing here. Do members of the committee or county administration have other items of business and communication? Member Solder, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I first want to apologize to Administrator Rodriguez for throwing this question at her, but I was wondering if you could give us just a brief update on the Aegis program, as far as I believe we were going to post for like a manager or whatever, or if you could kind of give us updated where we're at.
No problem. No apologies needed. Thank you, Member Soldner. We did post for that position. Unfortunately, we have had 0 applications. And we made a strategic decision to not post a salary, hoping that it wouldn't deter someone if the salary was a little bit industry low. But at this point, Mr. Craig Nelson and I have regrouped. We've refreshed the posting. We're going to put a slight some salary numbers on there to try to entice the right person. And we've also added some extra membership organizations. For example, the International County City Managers Association has some great postings. We did not post it there at first, whereas we did post it on some national project management sites. And we were trying to find some interesting and strategic ways to garner some more interest. And so we continue to look for a person to assist us with that project. And also, we just finished reviewing the request for information process that was out there. And we did have, Member Schaefer can correct me, I believe it was at least 3 responses that the team reviewed. And going from there, we've requested Craig Nelson to do some targeted interviews with key department heads, just to one more time reiterate what their biggest challenges are right now with the way Aegis is versus where they are maintaining, and then that will assist our team in perhaps going forward, taking that RFI information and then that information and maybe prioritizing where we will begin with our next step in the process. And obviously, members should join in if I've forgotten anything.
Thank you. Appreciate having that information. Member Solder, I'm glad you asked because it's useful information. Appreciate it. Any other questions at this time for Administrator Rodriguez? Excuse me. In that case, we'll move on to
Member Soldner, if you are talking to us, you are muted. Okay, good. Sorry. My apologies, Chairman Gordon. I thought Member Soldner was talking.
No problem at all. We want to be sure everybody has a chance to be heard with their mics on.
Yes.
We have bills to pay, which will be much shorter than the transfers unless we can consolidate the transfers. I'll ask you about that in a moment, Ms. Rodriguez. We have bills to pay. There are no pending payments, no pending amounts. So the prepaid and total amounts are identical. The amount of the bills is $632,372.41. I'll entertain a motion to pay the bills. Moved by Member Solder. Is there a second? Seconded by Member Schaefer. Any questions about the bills? Hearing none, we are ready to vote. The chair will vote.
Member Wendt,
Yes.
Member Schaefer,
Yes.
Member Martin,
Yes.
Member Soldner,
Yes.
Chairman Gordon.
Yes. And in a somewhat unusual development, we have 4 transfers. Administrator Rodriguez, it is my thought that we need to vote on these individually, since they are for different departments and obviously differing amounts, but especially since they're different departments, I think it's appropriate to take them separately.
That would be my recommendation, Chairman.
Sorry to make it necessary for Ms. Morlock or pinch hitter, Ms. Rodriguez, if need be. We have a transfer request from Court Services in the amount of $720.65, transferring from computers under $1,000 to capital assets. I'll entertain a motion on that proposal. Moved by Member Schaefer, seconded by Member Martin. Appreciate that. Any questions or comments regarding this transfer proposal? Hearing none, I believe we're ready to vote. And for the record, the chair will be voting on all of the transfer proposals. We're ready for the roll call.
Member Wendt.
Aye.
Member Schaefer.
Yes.
Member Martin.
Yes.
Member Soldner.
Yes.
Chairman Gordon.
Yes. The next proposal comes from Jason Tabb at the Juvenile Detention Center. A transfer of funds for fiscal year 2020 in the amount of $750 from schooling and conferences to software license agreement from the schooling and conference budget line to the software license agreement line. Any questions regarding this proposal? Need a motion? Member Martin, thank you. Is there a second? Seconded by Member Schaefer. There were no questions or comments, which I asked prematurely. Thank you. I believe we're ready to vote.
Member Wendt.
Aye.
Member Schaefer.
Yes.
Member Martin.
Yes.
Member Soldner.
Yes.
Chairman Gordon.
Yes. The third transfer request comes from the Sheriff's Department. A proposal to transfer $10,000 from the budget line for gasoline, oil, and diesel to the vehicle maintenance repair line. I'll entertain a motion to that effect. Member Martin moves, Member Soldner seconds. Any questions about this proposal? Hearing none, we'll proceed to the vote. Thank you.
Member Wendt.
Yes.
Member Schaefer.
Yes.
Member Martin.
Yes.
Member Soldner.
Yes.
Chairman Gordon.
Yes. Our final transfer proposal comes from the Children's Advocacy Center. There are actually two transfers grouped together. These, I believe, can be taken together since they both come from the CAC. A proposal to transfer $2,000 from computers under $1,000 to purchasing computer equipment, and transferring $4,000 from schooling and conferences to purchasing furnishings and equipment. Is there a motion? Moved by Member Schaefer, seconded by Member Soldner. Thank you. Any questions on these proposals? Hearing none, I think we're ready to vote.
Member Wendt.
Yes.
Member Schaefer.
Yes.
Member Martin.
Yes.
Member Soldner.
Yes.
Chairman Gordon.
Yes. That concludes the business of the committee this afternoon. We will convene again early December before the new board is seated. I'll look forward to seeing a good number of you tomorrow at exec and all of you at the county board meeting next week. Thank you very much. This meeting is adjourned.